welcome to News X World. I'm Asuma Katauka and you are watching Hollywood Calling. From celebrity scoops to film and music buzz. Here's your quick look at what's making headlines in entertainment today. Superman flies high with a $217 million global opening, marking a strong start for David Corenswet and James Gunn's new DC universe, despite modest international numbers and mixed reactions. Brad Pitt clings to hope of reuniting with twins Knox and Vivian, as one keeps his name and the other cuts ties amid ongoing tensions with Angelina Jolie and family estrangement. Tomorrowland stage burns before opening. A massive fire has destroyed Tomorrowland's main stage. Just 2 days before opening, organizers are racing to rebuild as 400,000 fans are preparing for 2 weekends of performances. Stranger Things drops emotional season 5 teaser as final chapter begins countdown to New Year's Eve finale, promising epic battles, heartbreak, and a farewell to Hawkins. Brad Pitt is making a last-ditch effort to reconnect with his twins ahead of their 17th birthday. One child dropping his last name hasn't stopped him. He's clinging to hope through the one who hasn't. At the same time, Pitt is pushing hard in court, demanding access to ex-wife Angelina Jolie's private messages. He claims they could prove she acted with malice during the sale of their French winery. As the feud escalates, Pitt says he won't give up on justice or his kids. Now we are joined by Sanidhya Kumar. He's an advocate joining us live from India. Thank you, Sanidhya, for joining us today. Welcome to News X World, Hollywood Calling. So can private texts and emails be exchanged during a business deal between ex-spouses? Can it be legally forced into evidence years later?
Absolutely. So when it comes to a case being filed between two parties, any document that has signatures of the said parties is absolutely admissible into evidence. What's very important and the onus to prove is on the party that's filing the case is whether the context of the document that they're relying upon is relevant to the proceedings at hand. So, for example, if there is a business deal that no matter whether it be about 10 years back or 15 years back, if it has material relevance to the case at hand, then it's absolutely admissible into evidence, and it's up to the defense counsel to disprove or dislodge the assumption that the plaintiff counsel is trying to put, that indeed these documents, these exchanges, these correspondences, even WhatsApp chats these days are considered admissible in evidence. In fact, there is a judgment that just came out 3 days back by the Honorable Supreme Court, where secret WhatsApp chats, phone calls, their transcripts were admitted into evidence. So that's very much the norm in judicial proceedings these days.
I see. And Sanidhya, can teenagers legally refuse contact with a parent in a custody agreement, and how much weight does their wish hold in court?
So I'll just give you a little backdrop of what usually entails in custody matters. In most jurisdictions, including India, there is a higher preponderance of the children actually going to the mother, because the courts have an inherent assumption that the mother will be able to take better care of their children. Be that as it may, once a child has crossed, say, an age where they can think independently for themselves, for example, 13 or 14 is considered the benchmark in India. The courts actually do invite comments or statements from the child as to where he would want to be. One thing that's very important in these matters also is the fact that there needs to be no manipulation between the child and one of the parents, because I mean, as you said, Brad Pitt is going to pull all stops in order to rekindle his relationship with his children. That may actually end up putting him at odds with Angelina Jolie, and trying to malign her image or secretly trying to get an upper hand on her. So courts are very, very careful whether there's any tutelage or any sort of manipulation that's going on behind the scenes. But yes, I mean, to summarize your question, after the age of 13, 14, when a child can think for themselves, their opinion, their experience with their parents has a huge part to play.
Thank you very much, Sandhya, for joining us and sharing your insight as an advocate. Your insights were valuable to us. Please stay with us as we come back to you in a minute. Now we move on to our next news. The new Superman film has soared to a 217 million global opening with strong numbers in the US and Canada. David Corenswet debuts as the Man of Steel in a reboot directed by James Gunn. While domestic sales shine, international figures trail behind. Meanwhile, James Gunn also unveiled the first official poster of Supergirl, teasing the next DC chapter after Superman's success. Warner Brothers is calling it a crucial win. Let's have a deeper look at Superman's supersized return to the big screen. Superman's box office flight continues, smashing past $217 million worldwide just days after its release. David Corenswet's debut as the Man of Steel delivers a strong start in the US and Canada with $122 million. The film added another $95 million overseas, though international numbers remain modest compared to domestic. Director James Gunn calls the response incredibly gratifying as he kicks off a new DC cinematic universe. Warner Bros. Now celebrates its sixth #1 opening of the year, solidifying its 2025 comeback. With Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane and Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, the cast brings new energy to the iconic franchise. Gunn says the film's message is about kindness despite backlash over comments linking Superman to immigration themes. Warner Brothers now looks to build on this momentum, with a Supergirl spin-off slated for next summer. As the industry struggles to match pre-pandemic numbers, Superman proves there's still big screen magic left. Bureau Report, NewsX World. Now we move on to our next news. Blake Lively's deposition in her legal fight with Justin Baldoni has been postponed to July 31st, a mutual decision after a co-defendant was dismissed on jurisdictional grounds. But the delay has sparked fresh controversy. Baldoni's team is accusing Lively of using her star power to control the deposition's location, claiming security fears are as just a tactic. Lively's camp disagrees, saying her concerns are legitimate. The legal clash over the alleged smear campaign continues to escalate. Now we go back to our guest discussion with Sanidhya Kumar. He's an advocate. Thank you, Sanidhya, for staying with us. Now, how much weight do courts give to security concerns when a star requests special handling?
Asuma, it has a huge part to play in it. And before I start off on your question, I'd like to tell you that there are times when two parties in protracted litigation are at odds with each other. They're at each other's throat. The same thing might not be shared by the counsels that are representing both sides. There's common courtesy that we counsels usually follow when there are security concerns, when there's something that's extremely private and it's actually a legitimate concern and we counsels know. Those are the times when you have to sort of let go. You have to give the other side the benefit of the doubt, and the courts do that as well. The same venom that either side may have for each other is not going to be shared by the councils. And in this specific case, also, the reasons for the delay and the postponement are quite complicated. If you actually go into it, I had a chance to read the documents that were on show. They actually show that the request was on, it was a joint request that was accepted by the court. So either Blake Lively's camp or Mr. Baldoni's, they probably got in touch with the other, and that is how it sort of, turned into a joint request to be accepted by the court without uh, too much of an issue. And obviously the media would uh, take it into a different, they would absolutely take it into a different angle. But the reasons were quite complicated. They were quite credible.
And Sandhya, if Baldoni's team does prove Lively is delaying intentionally, what could be the consequence?
So there are usually two consequences that follow. Either a part of her testimony, or her testimony entirely could be annulled. But that is the worst case scenario. Usually, courts they 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 do usually levy a cost on the side. The cost can be paid in monetary terms. That's as far as it goes in India, at least in our jurisdiction. That's the norm. But again, when it comes to this specific case, it's my understanding that the request was made on a joint request, and it wasn't opposed by either party. So I don't really see this turning into another standoff between Mr. Lively and Miss Lively and Mr. Baldoni.
Thank you very much, Sandhya, for joining us today and sharing your insight for both our news. Now we move on to our next news. A massive fire has gutted the main stage at Tomorrowland, one of the world's biggest electronic music festivals, just 2 days ahead of its grand opening in Belgium. Officials say no injuries were reported, but the damage is significant. Organizers are scrambling to rebuild the stage in time, though they have warned that if work can't be completed, the festival will have to open with reduced capacity. Investigations into what caused the fire are underway. Nearly 400,000 fans are expected to attend across 2 weekends, with major acts including David Guetta and Swedish House Mafia still set to perform. Organizers called the destroyed structure a living, breathing world, highlighting the loss not just in infrastructure but in artistic vision. Blackpink makes history as the first K-pop female act to sell over 1 million albums in the US. Their success comes amid backlash over a recent LA performance. Fans criticized their dance for being out of sync. Despite this, Blackpink's global dominance and legacy remain unchallenged. Let's take a deeper look into Blackpink's record-breaking milestone in the US and controversy surrounding their latest performance. Become the first K-pop female act to sell over 1 million album units in the United States. Their record-breaking debut solo studio album, the album reached this milestone in 2025. The album, released back in 2020, featured powerful pop anthems that blended global sounds with K-pop roots. Critics praised its confidence, style, and global impact. This sales feat solidifies Blackpink's status as the most influential girl group of the decade. The group continues to break records and push boundaries in global music. As Blackpink celebrates their sales success, their latest performance in Los Angeles sparked controversy. Their new song, Jump, drew heavy online criticism. Fans said the members looked out of sync and underprepared during the deadline tour stop. Some claimed the dancing felt rushed and unpolished. Jisoo was the only member some viewers felt looked comfortable on stage. Critics questioned whether the group had rehearsed together. Social media reacted swiftly to video clips from the LA concert. Many commenters said The performance lacked Blackpink's usual energy. Supporters defended the group, saying the song remains catchy and tour fatigue is real. The song Jump has still gained traction online. Despite the backlash, Blackpink's sales achievement remains untouched. The group continues to sell out venues and break global barriers. With 1 million albums sold in the US and global headlines, Blackpink shows no signs of slowing. Their legacy in K-pop is undeniable. Bureau Report, NewsX World. Now we move on to our next news. Jeremy Renner is breaking his silence on serious abuse allegations from his ex-wife, Sonny Pacheco. The Marvel actor denies claims he threatened to kill her or harm their daughter. In a new interview, he says the allegations are false, but repeated so often they felt real to the public. Renner calls them dramatizations and clickbait. He admits the headlines hurt and dehumanize people. The actor says his relationship with Pacheco has improved and they are now sharing custody of their daughter, Ava. He's focused on healing, recovery, and fatherhood after his near-fatal accident in 2023. Now we move on to our next news. Dolce & Gabbana lit up Rome with a grand fashion show near the historic Castel Sant'Angelo, inspired by church art and Roman grandeur. The collection featured beaded suits, capes, incense holders, and ancient coin jewelry. A star-studded evening, it truly felt like a Roman fairy tale. Let's have a look at how Dolce & Gabbana turned Rome's iconic landmark into a dazzling stage.
Dolce & Gabbana hosted a huge fashion show in Rome, next to the famous Castel Sant'Angelo by the river. The clothes were inspired by old church dressing, with robes, gold designs, and bright reds and greens. Some outfits showed angels from the bridge, while one jacket had a picture of the castle stitched on. Jackets made from altar cloths and shiny metal pieces added a touch of religious style and luxury. Models wore heavy beaded suits, flowing capes, and even carried incense holders to match the theme. Suits with pearls, sequins, and big gold brooches showed the famous Dolce & Gabbana style. Dark blue and gold capes sparkled under the lights, covered in thread work that took weeks to finish. Dolce was seen greeting fashion chief Anna Wintour, music legend Cher, and actress Isabella Rossellini in a moment of star-studded warmth. The finale had all models on a bridge, revealing every fine detail of craftsmanship. The jewellery had ancient coins, statues, and one necklace even read Veni Vidi Vici, Latin for I came, I saw, I conquered. With people dressed as priests and glamour all around, it was a true Roman fairy tale to remember. Bureau Report, NewsX World.
Julia Garner defends her casting as Shala Bal in Fantastic Four amid backlash over her role as a female Silver Surfer. Fans argue the character is comic accurate, not a gender swap. Critics are focused on CGI issues from trailers. The film starring Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby releases July 25th, introducing the Fantastic Four to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now we move on to our next news. The Emmys have dropped their list of nominees, spotlighting standout performances and hit shows this year. Teen talent Owen Cooper earns a historic nod for Best Supporting Actor in a limited series, continuing the acclaim for Adolescence, which scored 13 nominations in total. The show's Stephen Graham joins him in the lead actor race, while Christine Trimarco and Erin Doherty pick up nods in the supporting actress category. Major contenders include Severance with 27 nominations, The Penguin with 24, and The White Lotus with 23. The award ceremony is set for September 14th in Los Angeles. Now we move on to our next news. CBS has announced that The Late Show with Stephen Colbert will end in May 2026. After 33 years, the decision attributed to financial challenges was confirmed by Colbert during a live taping. CBS stated the show's cancellation isn't linked to its performance. The move marks the end of CBS's late-night programming since 1993. Now we move on to our next news. Nicki Minaj and SZA are in a heated online feud, and it's grabbing major attention. It started after Nicki Minaj called out SZA's former manager from Top Dog Entertainment. Things escalated quickly when fans resurfaced old tweets from SZA allegedly shading Beyoncé, Rihanna, and Madonna. Minaj reposted the screenshots and launched a fiery response. SZA clapped back, saying she gets real love on tour and brushed off the drama. She later signed off the exchange, heading to perform in Paris. Nicki Minaj and SZA once shared mutual admiration, often praising each other's artistry. Fans had long hoped for a collaboration, making their current feud all the more surprising and disappointing. The feud adds to Minaj's long list of public spats, including those with Cardi B, Miley Cyrus, and Mariah Carey. Now we move on to our next news. 9 years since first hit our screens, Stranger Things is gearing up for its final chapter. Netflix just dropped the teaser trailer for season 5, and it's emotional. The stakes are sky high. The upside down is more terrifying than ever, and yes, Eddie Munson may be gone, but fans haven't forgotten. The final season promises epic battles, heart, and heartbreak. With the series set to end on New Year's Eve, the countdown to Hawkins' last stand has officially begun. Now we move on to our next news. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco are set to tie the knot this September in a private, star-studded wedding in Montecito, California. Sources say it's a 2-day celebration with only close family and friends invited. Guests like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have reportedly received invites. The couple announced their engagement last December and have carefully planned a personal, intimate ceremony. While the pair hasn't confirmed the date publicly, excitement continues to build around their upcoming celebration. Now we move on to our next news. Rihanna lit up the blue carpet at the Los Angeles premiere of The Smurfs on July 13th, walking in with her 2 sons, RZA and Riot. The singer, who is expecting her 3rd child with A$AP Rocky, wore a chocolate brown Saint Laurent ensemble that showed off her baby bump. The trio shared a sweet moment meeting Papa Smurf. With the toddlers beaming, Rihanna voices Smurfette in the new film. Earlier, she attended the world premiere in Brussels in a stunning green Chanel look. Rihanna continues to combine mom life and star power effortlessly, showing up strong for her movie debut in an animated film. Now we move on to our next news. Pete Davidson is going to be a dad. His girlfriend, model Elsie Hewitt, announced this news on Instagram with an ultrasound photo and a witty caption. A rep confirmed the pregnancy, the first child for both. The couple went public earlier this year. Hewitt has acted in shows like Industry, and Davidson, known for his comedy and dating history, has said he's always wanted to be a father, calling it fun in a past interview with Kevin Hart. Now that's a wrap on Hollywood Calling for today. Your daily dose of stars, style, and stories returns soon.